Hey guys, back again. Working some more on the Mark again. I finally got it fired up off camera. I know, big disappointment for everybody that wanted to hear it fire up, but got to make sure it works first for me, because that'd be a disappointment to do that on YouTube. And anyway, had a whole bunch of stuff going on. More importantly, I had misplaced one of my spark plug wires, so it was interesting. It would pop and spit, and it was running a little fat out of one of the cylinders, mainly because it wasn't getting any spark. Go figure. So currently it runs. Let me back this zoom up. We're running off the factory MAF, which I took out of the box. I don't have the throttle cable hooked up. Fuel lines are connected. Simple vacuum currently. I don't have vacuum to the inside of the cab yet. This should be the correct Cobra throttle cable to replace the Mark 8 cable. I believe this is the factory Mark 8 throttle cable. The alternator is currently disconnected because it's shorted straight to ground, so we're running a battery charger just to keep this topped up. I ran it a little bit yesterday, and other than the misfire, it ran okay, and then all of a sudden it kind of slowly died out, and I was like, what the heck? Turns out we ran out of fuel, so we put 5 gallons in, fired it up, runs good. Anyway, I hadn't finished the exhaust totally last night. I mean, it's still not finished, but it was like a foot of pipe just past the header on the driver's side, so it was a little obnoxiously loud. But currently, let's see, I have them rough bolted in. They come back and they come into the X pipe. Those pipes are tacked. Everything else I've welded permanent so far, and then they just kind of float into the back there. I've got the rest of the pipes and the mufflers to put on, and I got to make the hangers. I think there's one that goes right above, or actually right there, that rubber block right by the fuel tank. Anyway, that needs done. I actually need to drop this fuel tank and put a fresh sending unit in it, because when I fired this thing up the last time, the pump was bad and the sending unit wasn't working. So anyway, we're gonna put a fresh sending unit and pump in it. So currently, underneath, the exhaust is hooked up. It's not tight. I'm still missing the top nut, which is right underneath there. They're gonna have clamps here so I can remove that. This is solid all the way back. I'm gonna have clamps back here so I can pull the back pieces off as well. And then if I can figure out how to do it, I think I've got what they were gonna use, the exhaust clamps, to the little U-bolt clamps. I'm gonna try to use those to tie into the hanger so I have a place to put it back to, but also so I can drop all this out. So anyway, that's the plan. And we haven't done I know we missed the cold start on it, or the first start, but maybe we'll do a quote-unquote cold start. Also, I suppose, while I'm here, as you can see, I've been trimming on the hood, and it hits somewhere in here, I believe. So the theory was to find a small cowl to put on the hood, and I found like the largest plastic cowl. Wasn't intentional. I didn't even look at the measurements, so that was shame on me. But normally, I believe this is for a Mustang, it would sit like this on the car, right? And I didn't really want that because it's not really tied down well. So my theory was we take and put this backwards on the hood, and then I can trim underneath of it and it covers it up, and it becomes a secondary outlet for heat. Anyway, that was the general idea. But what do you say we cold start this thing and see how it does? I think I've got the idle tune down somewhere near 800, 900 RPM. Oh boy. Oh boy. So I don't know about you guys, but my wipers cycle for some reason. Here we go. No, it's not great for him, but we'll give it just a little rev. Okay, so those front manifolds aren't quite tight, so I'm getting a little bit of burble right at the header. I should probably tighten those instead of screwing around before it gets too hot. But anyway, there's the old update for everybody. Speaking of clamps, here's the squeeze clamps I was going to use for putting the pipes and everything into place, and then those go in the middle of it. And then I'll just show you the hanger since we're here. I believe they're here. Yeah. So this type of deal. Maybe we'll just weld to the top of this, or weld one of these to here. It's hard to do this one-handed. Anyway, something like that. Figure out how that all works. So that's the plan. Making progress. I think since I've got it, well, I don't really want to run it on the X pipe is not welded in, it's just hanging there. I don't have the mufflers on the back to hold the backside of it. The only thing it's hanging on right now is the headers itself. So I want to drop the car down and make sure that the air ride still works, that it'll air up and pick the car up, but I haven't tried that. So we were trying to figure out how to air this thing up without watching any videos, and that didn't go over super great. So anyway, we could get air into the bags, but not enough to lift it. So hopefully my compressor isn't shot and He'll actually pick the car up. But I won't know that until I get the car down, which requires me putting it back down on the ground. And that would require me taking the X-pipe off the back of it and all that other stuff. So, and or hanging the X-pipe. Anyway, haven't got there yet, but that's the update. I'll keep you guys in the loop as we go. And yeah, anyway, just an update.